Good evening and welcome to the Business Day. I'm Andrea Chisholm. Almost 3 decades after the financial meltdown of the 1990s, Jamaicans still do not have an account of the circumstances surrounding the events. That's because the report from the Commission of Inquiry, which examined the Financial Sector Adjustment Company FINSAC, has not been published. Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark says the company is almost dissolved, but still no word on the report. TVJ's Andrew Ladley explains.
Over the last 10 years, the government spent more than $150 million on the FINSAC Commission of Inquiry. Since 2009, the commission has promised to release the findings of its report. Those promises have gone unfulfilled, and since then, the commission has had challenges of its own. For example, in 2010, the court ordered that the chairman of the commission, Justice Boyd Carey, be removed from the post because of suspected biases. And in 2016, Secretary to the Commission of Inquiry, Fernando de Peralta, passed away. Now, despite failing to deliver year after year, the government continued to pump money into the inquiry. And now this.
Over 12 months ago, we had a send-off for the board of FINSAC. It was reduced to, I think, at that time, it had 2 staff members or 1 staff member. So FINSAC is virtually wound up.
But still no report. When quizzed about the long-awaited report, the finance minister had this to say.
Jamaica definitely needs an account of that period of time. We've had stops and starts. We had commissioners pass away, and so forth. We have allocated money, and report hasn't come. So the government is considering the best way to ensure Jamaican people at least get the information that was obtained during the course of the Commission's hearings. And once we determine what the best way for that to happen is, we'll make that public.
So still no idea when the report will be made public, despite Audley Shaw, when he was finance minister on his return to office in 2016, making a promise to do so after none was released during the last PMP administration from 2012 to early 2016. And while the nation is left to wait, members of the private sector believe the lengthy delay may be a result of damning findings which the government is reluctant to release.
Are we as a country ready to have a truth and reconciliation moment for what we all collectively did and what we allowed policymakers to get away with? Because they got away with murder.
I think maybe it could be fair of what is included in a report like that. I feel as if sometimes as a country, we sometimes need, to hear the truth, but we don't know how to handle the truth. So sometimes things take time, and people are afraid to say certain things because of the reaction.
The FINSAC Commission of Inquiry was set up in 2008 to consider the cause of the financial meltdown of the 1990s. The commission was tasked with reviewing the operations of FINSAC in relation to delinquent borrowers. This is to determine if the borrowers were treated fairly in the sale and disposal of their assets. Andrew Ladley, TVJ News.
To currency trading now, it ended today with the US dollar selling for $138.60. The Canadian dollar, $104.97. The pound sterling is costing $177.10, while the euro is going for $154.63. In today's trading session, the JSE index advanced by 189 points, while the junior market index declined by 11 points. Among the winners, MPC Caribbean Clean Energy, Pulse Investments, 1834 Investments, Blue Power Group, and 138 Student Living. The losers were led by Cargo Handlers Limited, Fontana Limited, Mayberry Investments, Stanley Motor Limited, and Medical Disposables and Supplies. And that's the Business Day. I'm Andrea Chisholm. Good evening.